Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 2, Early Predictions, News, and Live Chat. So we are transitioning our Wednesday Walker episode just a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of background noise, I think, because I didn't mute the other video, so you may get an ad or something playing in the background in about 10 seconds. So if you hear me talking over myself, you'll know exactly why as we get into a couple shout-outs. Bad YouTuber. What am I thinking here? So, good afternoon, everybody. What's up, Tobin, Nick Dub, ETZ Mom, Moody Girl, I Love The Walking Dead, Ryan Moore, Orbital Spree. A lot of people coming in here. So, as I was moving into the initial dialogue, we're going to transition a little bit of our Wednesday Walker right now into the episode number 2, and then Sunday we'll do episode 3. Next Wednesday we'll do episode 4 until we get through all 16 episodes. So, scrolling up, just checking out a few of the people that are jumping in chat. And did I see someone talking about trading cards? Did I start a monster here by spreading my videos? Because I know some people are playing it anyway, and now that I'm doing some videos, it looks like I might have coerced a few other people into getting into the trading. So if you're spending money, I apologize. So hopefully you guys are having a good afternoon. And let's let a few more people roll in here while we just say what's up to a couple people. So I see David Carter. What's going on? Epic Gaming. And if you guys can hear me loud and clear, just throw a 999 up in chat real quick just to make sure that I'm not talking to myself, which I kind of am to a certain degree. So, Will Dans, this is going to be a little bit of speculation. So these are not outright spoilers. What we're doing, let me go ahead and explain it to the people that probably maybe have not watched the episode number 1 that we did Sunday night. What we're doing is we're coming up with 4 or 5 different scenarios that we think are going to happen, and then we're going to tag onto that this week, and then Sunday we're going to build it. They may be completely wrong by the time the spoilers come out in about a month or so when we get some of the scripts, but at least it's going to be fun to come up with our own theories in advance. So let me recap a little bit of what we talked about in episode number 1. It wasn't 100% consensus, but we did agree that a few of these things could happen. One of the challenges was a lot of people wanted to get all the way out to episode number 8, 9, 16 and said, I think this is going to happen in a season. So what we thought might happen in episode number 1 is that Ezekiel, Maggie, they kind of head back to their respected areas, and they have to, talk about what happened and prepare everybody. So on the way back, we kind of speculated that Ezekiel may decide to hit one of the outposts, or he may get cut off and jumped, and possibly we lose Shiva very early, and we may even lose Jerry, so we could lose a couple people. We also talked about the fear that Eugene ended the last season. He knows Negan's on to him. And perhaps Eugene goes back to his, I guess it's, what is it, alchemy? I guess making the pills, whatever it is, whatever science of making the pills. And he may look for either Frankie or Amber, someone to give the pills to. And we also speculated we could have some Oceanside action as well. So that's a little bit of where we left it. So today we're going to tag on to a little bit more of those theories that are out there. So let me go ahead and set, I'm going to read your comments. If you guys have not been on my videos in the past, there are a couple new people that I noticed. This is kind of the way it works is, I'll pick a topic and we'll sort of talk about it a little bit as we do these spoilers. And you guys continue to type your comments. I probably can't call on everybody, but I'm going to read your name a lot of times and read your comments and really looking for your ideas and things that can help make the stream a little bit better. If you guys could, as always, slap that like button really, really hard. Lucille it. Let's get this thing up as we get more people. We're probably going to have a couple hundred people before we're said and done, so it'd be nice to get out of here with a couple hundred likes before we are through with this video. And once the video goes live, it would probably be about 45 minutes to an hour long, 10 to 15 minutes after it goes live, if you guys could get over there and leave a couple comments on it as well. And by the way, the one we did Sunday night, we might have had 1,200 people Sunday night, but 6,500 people have already watched that video just in the first couple days. So you guys are a part of the making of this video. And before we get started with a couple more things, I just want to say thank you guys for Monday night, because I thought if you guys were here for random things on Monday night, I had a lot of fun with it. Hopefully you guys did. If you guys want to keep doing that, we'll do it every Monday, but the topics are just really all over the place. And, we seem to get pretty good feedback, so I'm going to go with that. So it's just a little something different that we can sort of deviate into. All right, so I am going to, last season, all the impact and everything that happened with episode number 1, by the time they got to number 2, I think it was the Kingdom, it was almost like a little bit of a break. And I think that kind of threw everybody off for the season because they just wanted more and more follow-up. So we'll talk about the writer's strike a little bit later. But yeah, the script is there. They're not writing the script right now. That script is already done. It's just a matter of when the script goes from the writers to the production crew and the producers and all of those people. But yeah, they're not. I don't think they're still writing anything. They know what's going to happen this season. That was probably done several months ago. So let's. Thank you, Alexandria. She said Monday was awesome. And I got some interesting. I don't want to make this into a random things video because we will follow up, and I got some good topics we're going to talk about this week. But I did get several messages that people could not get chickens out of their mind. So we talked about chickens too quite a bit. And some people, I guess, aren't even eating chicken right now. All right. So with those topics that we talked about in episode number 1, what I want you to do is sort of take that theme and let's build upon it. Let's see what we think is going to happen in episode number 2. So one of the things that I think is obvious that we're going to have to deal with is if Ezekiel goes through the loss, even if he loses one of two, if he doesn't lose Shiva and he loses Jerry, loses Shiva, doesn't lose Jerry, any of those things, we're going to see a transformation, I think, in Ezekiel's character. We saw Ezekiel protective of his people last season. Then we saw him make a commitment when Benjamin died and really go for it. And then I think we'll see a weakness in Ezekiel if he loses Shiva, because everything that he has put into that relationship, it might be, I don't know if it would be a story that would dominate episode number 2, but I do think showing that weak side and what Negan's team can do. I think that because Negan lost a little bit of his swagger, I guess, in the season finale, it's important for them to get out and reestablish Negan as the dominant force. And even the way they ended, you saw all the people that were there waiting for Negan's speech. So I don't think they're going to wait a long time to ramp it up. I think they're immediately going to strike and they're going to show Negan's power. But at the same time, I don't think they can show Rick on his heels too much either. So whereas before it was Rick was weak, Negan was powerful, then Rick kind of rose up and Negan lost just a little bit at the end, I think you're going to see both groups actually racing for more power, where it's not either one is weak for very long. It's like they're both going to sort of maximize their potential and then somebody's going down. And so I think we'll see a little bit of Ezekiel's loss, and that really is, I think, the first thing that they're going to focus on in episode number 2. The second thing that I think that we're going to see is I think we're going to see a very short-lived Dwight and Eugene. So we saw Dwight, as hard as it was for him to, basically tell Negan, like, you give the word, they're ready to go. I think we're going to see Dwight in episode number 2 fully defect. I think Dwight's out. I think he can't play both sides of it very long. Negan's going to be suspicious. Dwight makes it out. I also think in coupling with that, which is number 3, I think Eugene gets found out. And Eugene did spare Sasha's life to a certain degree. I'm sorry, Negan spared Sasha's life. Eugene was involved in that. Negan's going to be angry, but I don't think he's going to kill Eugene. I don't think Eugene leaves the show, but I do think in episode number 2, Negan is going to find out exactly what Eugene was up to, and I think he's going to kind of forgive him a little bit, but he's going to want something in return. He's going to want him to really go hardcore and let him know that you're either with us or you're not. And then Eugene is not going to get away. I don't think Eugene gets away from this. I think he has to be part of Negan for all-out war. Or die. So those are the first 3. I'm going to stop it right there, and let's talk about a little bit of thoughts with that. You either tag onto it or, give some other alternate theories that you think could go down. So basically, recap, Ezekiel suffering a little bit from whatever happens to Ezekiel on the way back. Dwight defects. He gets the hell out of Dodge. And Eugene, because he's afraid, he partners with either Amber, Frankie, the other girl I think was Tanya, any of the 3, and Negan's going to find out that it was Eugene that actually helped Sasha die. All right, and what's going on, Channy D? Good to see you. Sin Miller, Ezekiel would be heartbroken. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a little bit of the setback when that happens. Lindsay Luke says Eugene will start making bullets for Negan to gain his trust back. That's where I think you're right about that. I really think that, I don't know if it'll happen in episode number 2, but I think that that could be the end of episode number 2, like where Negan gets found out, or I keep saying Negan, sorry. Eugene gets found out, and you don't know what's going to happen by episode number 3, and then Eugene in episode number 3 basically comes out and says, all right, what do you want me to do? Well, you start making those bullets, manufacturing. And then, now maybe later on in the season, Eugene turns on Negan again and could make the blanks that we talked about. But I think at least for a short period of time, Negan is going to need Eugene to be all in for all-out war, which is going to be a different type of character. We've seen weak Eugene, we've seen scared Eugene. We might actually see Eugene that steps up and truly becomes Negan at that point. I thought about that as well, too. Ann Hodge says maybe Negan backstory in episode number 2. I don't think we'll see a Negan backstory until he's in prison. I think he'll have a little bit of time on his hands. I think if you get into the backstory in episode number 2, it's going to weaken, it's going to water down the story. I think this season, above all seasons, they really got to get out of the gates and get to war relatively quickly and get to some of the storylines because they told so many stories in season number 7. And Michelle, what's up, Michelle Yang? If you guys can get over to Michelle Yang's beauty channel, you'll get to see her doing a eating video. That's lots of fun there. Go check that out and give her a thumbs up. And please leave a comment about her eating and talking and all of those things. So her question is, did Rick take all the Oceanside guns? Yeah, they took them all. He got them all. Street Boy says Eugene is not going to make a biological weapon. I think that's even above Eugene's pay grade. Yeah, I think the coward Eugene is going to be long gone in season 8. What's up? What's up, Trev Heath? Bernadette Wolfgang. Will Negan kill Ezekiel? That's from Bernadette. I don't think Ezekiel's going to go anytime soon. I could see Ezekiel dying by the end of the season or later in the season. I do think Ezekiel's going to have some fight left. Initially, it's going to be Ezekiel dealing with the loss of Shiva, and that's going to be tragic. That's going to be hard to watch that. You know, hey, if things don't work out here on Walking Dead, then maybe I'll switch over and do makeup tutorials. It can happen. I mean, we've got everything else on the agenda. We got pole dancing and karaoke, so I might as well, and cooking with kills. Might as well add makeup with kills. All right, so Aziel says, will the group Rick gave guns to in season 1 make a comeback? In season 1 in Atlanta? Probably not. I think that might be a typo. You're going to have to retype that. What's up, Tommy Mac? Vonda's like, I'm not going to watch that. You would watch. You would watch just out of curiosity. I love The Walking Dead. Kills, do you think Rosita will die because Christian Serrato is being pregnant? I don't think so. She'll be ready to go, man. She'll be filming in the summer. Not at all. I am not making fun of you. Trust me. I think Lisa G might be having some connection issues because could someone type to Lisa G that the stream started about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago? I think she's waiting for me to get started with the stream. All right, so those three things so far. I'm going to give you two more items, and then we're going to open up for a couple different things that could possibly happen. So I also think this is going to be the real dramatic thing. I'm not 100% on this, but I just got a feeling. So because Gregory left in the season finale, we'll probably see some dealings with Gregory and Negan maybe in episode number 1. I think Gregory goes back to Hilltop. That gives Maggie time to get back to Hilltop, start preparing everything. Maggie and Jesus kind of went through everything they went through. I think that the emotion of having to kill Walker Sasha is going to hit Jesus pretty hard. Jesus seems like one of those, I guess he kill only when desperate type of person. Not as bad as Morgan, but he doesn't seem like he's just out there looking to murder a bunch of people, for no reason. But I think episode number 2, here's the big bombshell that I'm going to drop. I think Gregory has had some dealings with Negan. Gregory comes back, and I think Jesus kills Gregory in episode number 2. I'm going to go on record right now saying that. That is prediction number 4. Gregory comes back. Jesus knows that it's going to cause complications. He's ready for Maggie to take over. He knows it's what's best for the Hilltop. And Jesus kills Gregory. Go ahead and leave your thoughts. Let's see, do you think Jesus... Oh, there's Sean Covers right there. Sean, you must have been typing that as I was reading it. Sean's like, do you think Jesus will kill Gregory when he comes back from his trip? There you go. Hey, I love you guys, but if you guys could use about 50 less emojis and about 100 less 999s, it would be greatly appreciated. Because it's very tough for me to get to everybody's question if you monopolize all the characters on the screen. So thank you guys. Your appreciation or your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I think, Shani, I'm going to say Jesus and not Maggie. It's going to be a lot of big changes from the comics. But I do think it'll give that extra little boost that we need, because we like Jesus already. I think Jesus is becoming a fan favorite. So I think that'll kind of push Jesus into that sort of elite status. Everybody's like, yeah, Jesus killed Gregory. Wanted Gregory to die. Yep. And Michelle's great point. Gregory already has threatened Jesus. She's like, are you threatening me? Hey, it's really cute, Larma. Sorry, Larma. I actually had to as well. So you can enjoy your 30-second timeout for being cute. All right, next question. J.J. Wilson is definitely a Jesus fan. Let's see. Mike Murray says, I bet you Maggie will kill him. Why do you think Maggie will kill him, Mike? Just give your opinion. I already know what the answer is going to be. But I just want to see you say it. Billy, I don't know what your question is, but Billy Johnson is asking, will Glen come back? He's not going to come back from the dead, but if you mean will he do a flashback scene somewhere along the way, maybe after the birth of his son, it might happen. Yep. That's kind of my thoughts as well, Shani. It kind of gets her off the hook a little bit. Or maybe Jesus kills him and Maggie walks in and he's already dead, so he does it before she gets a chance to. Like, oh, okay, well, you took care of this for me. Appreciate that. Lindsay, I don't know. You're saying maybe Gregory has something to do with Eric dying and Jesus kills. I don't know Gregory's going to be that much involved. I don't feel like he's going to be a big part of Season 8. I really think in the first couple episodes his story is going to, it's gone. And I think Shiva as well. I mean, I would not be surprised. Morgan would be a stretch for me. I do think Morgan, I don't think Morgan's going to make it past season 8 either, but I think Morgan's going to have a little bit more profound death. Morgan's going to be a little bit more of a shock to people, in my opinion. Gregory was not the little birdie, Mike. Tamiel was the little birdie from the Scavengers. And Negan even said, or Jadis even told Rick that when they were up on the ledge with Rick, where she says, Tamiel followed the people who took the guns, made better deal, and that was where Negan was getting the information. And Negan even says, yeah, and I want all your guns too. I know about the guns. And I got one more that I'm going to tag on here in a couple minutes, but I want to read some of your comments. So really quickly, just a couple things, kind of commercial break, so I'm not going to make you guys sit through an ad. And no, I think the car took him, Mike, I do. I think the car took him to the sanctuary, but that's happening as the other things are happening. Keep in mind, Gregory didn't know where the sanctuary was until Simon told him. And then he gave him the directions, and so he's on his way up there, but he's going to miss them. He's going to be there when they get back. But a couple announcements. This is kind of your intermittent commercial break. First of all, thanks to all of you guys for being here. We've done this. This has been our Wednesday Walker edition where we get together and we talk about spoilers, usually midweek, and we recap the other episode. So what we're doing is, without actual spoilers, we are going through my thoughts, your thoughts. We're sort of piecing it together. We're going to go through season number 8, episode by episode, and talk about the things that we think are going to happen. These are going to happen on Wednesday nights and also in our regular Sunday night stream. Used to be Sunday spoilers, but we're going to continue to make it Sunday spoilers. We're going to talk about these episodes. Also, Sunday morning, gaming fans that are out there, and there's a new trading card game that I'm playing. You guys can log in. It's Chill with Kills, very relaxed gameplay. And a brand new segment we're doing, we're going to make this into a weekly series. It's called Random Things. We had a lot of fun with that. Probably 1,000 people have been involved in that video so far, so I think it's going to continue to grow. It just gets us a little bit on Walking Dead topics, but a whole lot of other stuff as well. And then, just a whole lot of other things that we do. And with all the people here, we got, if you're new, type a 999, please, just so we can recognize some of the new folks. And also, we've got at least 50 people in here that have not slapped the like button. You guys are fans. You love each other. You're part of the 999 Army. Slide the mouse over to the right and just hit that like button for us as well, too. That would be fantastic. So, and we also have a 999 Army fan page that is set up. Moody Girl set that up, so if you guys are interested, then check that out as well too. We'll leave it in the comments of this video when the video goes live. So there you go. There's your commercial. Keo says, there you go, this is nothing to Walking Dead. Do you have a girlfriend? You seem like a comic nerd. Yeah, I am definitely not a comic nerd. The first comic book that I've read was the Walking Dead comic book that I read live there, buddy. So I'm learning. But I'm learning to be a comic nerd, so I think I can transition. Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe you're right after all. Oh, you can talk now, Larma. Yeah, your timeout is over. So look, several new people. We got Mary Hofstetter, Melancholy Heart. We got Israel. Israel, you're not new, you freak. Come on, man. Don't be wasting my keystrokes there. So thank you to all the new people that are up there. Appreciate you guys joining in. It's very interactive. I'll challenge. I don't think you guys are going to find a more interactive channel on YouTube, and it's only going to get more and more involved. So as the season goes, this is all about you continuing to leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and building this thing up. So. Walking Dead theories. Kills. Will Carl kill Simon? Absolutely. Oh, Kale says smile. Crossbowed that like button. I see where you're going with that. Thank you. I do think Carl will kill Simon. I do think it's going to be much later on, though, in the season. Who is the next Lucille victim? Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't know there's going to be a Lucille victim like a like a lineup, I would not be surprised if there's not another Lucille victim. You know, maybe he coats Lucille in Walker Guts and goes that route. But I think the lineups have... I think after the failed lineup in the finale, things are happening so fast. And keep in mind, the lineup, I think, at this point, it's lost its effectiveness. It was to put fear in everybody. There's no fear anymore. And there's really no time. Okay, you know, we're going to teach you a lesson. Get down, we're going to beat one of you to death. I think Negan's at a point now where we're just going to kill you. Edna Tella says, Kills, what do you think will happen with Eugene, the other suicide pill? I think there's going to be more than that one suicide pill. I think Eugene can go back and make several. He might have already made several. He had 2 in the bag, but he may have actually made a stockpile of them. But I do think he's going to get caught. Yeah, think of Lucille now as Michonne's katana. It might be a weapon. Negan's going to have a gun. He's going to have a knife. He's probably going to dip Lucille in Walker Guts and just kind of swing it around. I would be willing to take wagers right now. There will not be another lineup. I think, well, actually, here you go. Let me throw you guys a curveball. I usually don't like to get too far ahead of the game. So I do think there will be another Lucille moment. So bear with me for a minute. So after a little bit of all-out war goes on, Negan gets captured. I think Rick will get Negan down on his knees and threaten to Lucille Negan. And he'll stop. And he'll change his mind. Because I don't think he can brutally do that beatdown. I think it's going to be something that the writer is going to throw at us. Like, okay, Rick's actually going to beat down Negan with his own bat. And I think that's where a little bit of the rift is going to come later on in the season. Maybe at the end of Season 8. Could even be Season 9. Depends on how long the war and the subplots go along. But the next time someone will be on their knees with Lucille pointing at him will be Rick pointing it at Negan. He's going to change his mind. He's going to lock him up. And that's not going to sit well with a lot of people. And I could very well see... I have not read the comics, but I have researched some of the comics. So I know that in the comics, well, first of all, Rick wasn't with Michonne. Rick was with Andrea. And when, in the comics, Rick locks Negan up, Michonne wants Rick to kill Negan. And she doesn't like it. So evidently she leaves, and that's where she leaves and meets Pete and goes out on the voyage. And then there's a time skip that happens in between there. So I could see that still playing out a little bit like the comics where, you know, Rick wins the war, he gets Negan, he's going to Lucille him, changes his mind, and that doesn't set off Michonne because they're together. It could set off someone like Rosita. Because Rosita lost Abraham, and I could see her really taking that to heart. And I know people are going to say, no, Rosita has to be there because the Whispers, and they got to cut her head off and put it on a stake. Doesn't mean it's going to happen to Rosita. We could see Rosita maybe take that voyage. We could see Tara take that voyage. We could see, you know, Carol. We could see Carol take that voyage. So something like that, I think, would keep with the comics and also mix it up enough to where we're not really sure. Just my thought. And I owe you guys guys and ladies, one more thing that I think will happen in episode number 2 before we get too far into the season. And then we'll open up, we'll talk about the season, because that's what everybody wants to talk about is like, what's going to happen by the end? Shanny, if it does, absolutely. If it does set Carol off, then more power, because that would make more sense to me if Carol is the one who actually leaves. If Carol's there and she's like, just kill him, you know, just kill him, and Rick doesn't do it, and she leaves because she wants to leave anyway. She needs that. But I think emotionally it makes a little bit more sense for it to be Rosita. But for me, it would be fantastic if it was Carol. And this is a minor one, and I don't know if this will happen in episode number 2. I wanted some filler information. The other 4 things may be enough to keep it busy, but I could see either Carl or Michonne doing a little bit of scouting of the scavengers, trying to get back to the scavengers. So, perhaps Michonne disappears in this episode for, an episode or 2 and goes out and she wants to get revenge because of the beatdown that she got. So, may or may not happen, but I do think there will be something that will focus either on Carl or Michonne's storyline. That's funny. Some of your comments crack me up. 3 community ambush could happen. Lisa Marie, what makes Jadis think Rick would ever... Oh, Rick wasn't. She's a confident woman. Nice hair. I mean, who wouldn't? Beniam, why does Rick keep Negan alive? He doesn't have to. I mean, he does in the comics, and I'm not going to go all, well, it has to happen this way. It's in the comics. One, I think Negan, that's a storyline I could see play out very similar because Negan has charisma. I think Negan can be, I think he can change. I think they're already changing his character to a degree. In a devastating loss, especially with the Whisperers coming at some point, Negan doesn't look like it doesn't look like he wants to die, doesn't look like he's looking to die. So could he relinquish power to someone else? I think so. And could he play that backseat to Rick? Sure. So I think, the question is, why would you not kill Negan? Could be more of what the actor brings to the show, because I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan just does a hell of a job. And killing him off, especially when he's still alive in the comics, just keep him around. Joey Price just said it. Negan is good for business if written the right way. Maboon, will there be a time skip season 8 to 9? I don't think there needs to be. I mean, that could be the thing. A lack of a time skip might actually keep them far enough away from the comics that they don't pass the comics. So keep typing your questions up. I've covered the 5 things that I want to cover in episode number 2. So if there are some things that that you want to add to episode number 2, or if there's just some general things that you think will happen, Gecko, I'm going to answer it because, like I said, the Heath fans have suddenly come out of the woodwork. I don't think Heath's alive. I think Heath is going to show up. My personal opinion is Heath is dead, and his head is going to show up on a stake as an Easter egg in some future episode. And you can agree, you can disagree if you want to disagree, but I mean, we'll open it up. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, except freaking Morales. I'm not going to talk about him. The thing that really makes me think that Heath is not coming back, to be honest with you, and I have thought about this. I actually did a video on it 5 months ago or something, whenever that thing happened. His glasses. I don't think Heath is walking around with a pair of contact lenses in every video, and he didn't have these thin little glasses. So if you're blind, what good is he going to be for anybody? So I think he's off the show. I do think he'll be a landmark. I don't know what else you're going to say to Heath. No disrespect to Heath, but he's gone. And I think they didn't show him dead outright because they did want to let him be a prelude to something else that's going to happen. He's gone, Larma. Adios. Heath, it was great. Larma, actually, that video that you're talking about was actually on 999 Gaming before it was on any other channels. And there was a frame of a girl that looked like a girl walker. It has not been confirmed. And then right after I showed the Heath and what appeared to be a girl, we showed the glasses and everything else. But yeah, thank you. And by the way, the other channels you referred to did do a video about 3 hours after my video. Just saying. But yeah, do a little bit of your homework beforehand. What if the Whisperers use Heath? I don't even want to think about that. All right, so let's go on to some other topics that we think. Gage Kinsey says, I don't read the comics, so could someone tell me what happens to Negan? Gage, if you don't read the comics, go back and check 999 Gaming. You can start with episode number 1, and I'll read you all the way through them. I'm up to like 51. What's up? What's up, Tyler? Yeah, I mean, I think Heath was probably in less episodes than Shane was in issues of the comics. King Nothing. I'm not going to go into that. Here, let me tell you guys. I'm neutral with that. I'm not going to bash any other people for doing their homework and doing their job. Here's what I will tell you, is I watch very few videos of other people that do Walking Dead stuff. I know you guys definitely, and I'm not hating on anybody. You have a right to watch whatever you want to watch. But I don't want to watch other people's stuff because I don't want to be influenced by their stuff. Now, and somebody said the other day, I did a Hidden Clue video, and they came along and said, oh, you did what New Rockstars did or something like that. Don't even get me started with New Rockstars. But I will tell you, I've been doing Hidden Clues for a long time. I don't look at other people's Hidden Clues. The problem is there's only so many Hidden Clues in an episode. So it's very likely that when people come on and they say you're copying this person or that person, it's likely that we all see the same stuff. Some of the stuff that I do videos on happen in these chats. So we'll be doing a stream after the Talking Dead, and we'll come up with something and we just start building on it. Very next day, it could be my idea, it could be one of your ideas. But then I do a video on it, and then somebody else may have left this chat and went and did. I don't know. I don't know how people communicate, but it's likely that you're going to have the same Hidden Clues, at least to a certain degree. The one thing I'll tell you is my perspective of my Hidden Clues are going to be different than anybody else's. And that's why people watch. Some people are going to like Trev, Ronnie, Brian, whatever, all the people that are out there. But I think most people watch because they have a connection with the person that is moderating, the person that is talking. And that's where I think my relationship with my subs is different. So I have my subs on Kick. I started doing Shoutouts 2 years ago, long before other gaming channels did it. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody else. People can do their own thing. You can watch whatever you want to watch. But I'm not going to knock off somebody else's idea. That I can guarantee you. I'm not going to steal something from somebody else. And if other people do it to me, that's on them. But even if I do a Hidden Clue and somebody else did it 2 days ago, it's not from their idea. It's a video that I waited 2 days to do as I was formulating the thoughts and going. It wasn't because I watched them and needed material. I don't need material. I can just do a live stream and just talk, man, about whatever. There you go, Emmy. She's like, are there other channels? But yeah, no hate to those guys. Anybody that works hard for a living, man, let them work. Appreciate what they do, but just don't come up and say, you stole this from somebody else, because I can assure you, I don't. Okay. Do we clear the air? Do we clear all that up? Are we done with that? So thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. So, and this ain't going to change. If anything, we're going to add more live streams. It may be different topics. Couple things that, as I'm waiting for people, let's reel this back in and get back to The Walking Dead. Josh says, do you think Gregory will die via Maggie? Josh, if you came in a little bit late, I think Gregory will die via Jesus. And I think that's going to happen in episode number 2 that we're talking about right now. President Obama says, hey man, do you think Negan and Ezekiel will ever speak face to face? I do. I think Ezekiel's going to go through a little bit of a down period, losing Shiva very early on, and he's going to question his leadership in the kingdom. But yeah, I think they'll meet face to face. And I wouldn't be surprised if Negan killed Ezekiel. Hope it doesn't happen, but Negan is he's a different level character than, say, a Jesus or a Ezekiel or a Morgan. I think Negan is one of those, like him or dislike him, he's got to be around for a while. And I do think that they're going to write a lot of the plot line around him. Whether he's imprisoned or whether he's killing people, whether he's nothing. Great feedback, though. Yeah, Storm, I said I think Shiva's going to die in episode number 1. I think it's going to happen quick. It may not. I'm not reading from a script right now. I don't want it to happen. I love that little tiger, but I think it's got to happen. Not because of budgeting. They can afford the budget for CGI. Whether it's $1 million an episode, they got the money. I just think that it's got to happen to push the story along. It's a good point. Street Boy J says, Negan is like the Joker to Batman. I think it's a good analogy. Yeah, I do think because of the Michelle, do you want to see the Negan backstory? I don't know that I want to see it as a filler episode, to be honest with you. I'm not really up on that, taking a week or two off just to sort of talk about something different. I would like to see it incorporated into maybe his capture or something along those lines to give you a little bit more insight into it without, a 90-minute special on this is when Negan was a gym coach, and here is his wife dying of cancer, and he always liked to play ping pong with the little boys. I mean, I don't need to know everything that Negan did, but I would like to see a little bit of the build up. Lindsay, that's a great question. So Lindsay Luke says, and if I get some flack for calling on the same people, a lot of times it's because they're thought out questions. And if it's a one-line question, it's like, who do you think died kills? I don't always see those, but Lindsay, to be honest, types a lot of well thought out questions. I'm not to say other people don't, but do you think it'll be Daryl who brings Dwight back into Alexander when he finds him outside the walls? I do, and I think that's very important because Daryl said that I don't care if he is sorry, I'm going to kill some bitch, But then he found the little wooden soldier, and I think that coupled with the fact that Sherry helped him, I don't think Daryl's going to kill Dwight. It did sound wrong, didn't it? Wait a minute. Did I miss what'd you say, Steph? So, Steph Richardson says, you don't think Negan will try to take Shiva for himself and not kill? No, there is no way. One does not capture a Shiva. One does not capture a tiger. That tiger is with Ezekiel or is with nobody. There's the loyalty there. So forget that. Just say no to ping pong. Raging says, where is Sherry? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see Heath and Sherry's head on stakes. One, I think Heath, because, you had Rosita, you had Ezekiel, you had all these, so let's mix it up a little bit. Where is Heath? We don't know. So maybe Heath is dead. Where is Sherry? We don't know. Maybe Sherry's dead. So let's say instead of Ezekiel and Rosita, we are now going to have Heath and Sherry's head on stakes, and we will see them in Season 9 for the Whispers. There's my prediction. Write it down. And who's out there? Where's Larma? So Larma, in 9 months, when whatever channel does a video, and it says, did the Whisperers cut off the heads of such and such and such and such? Then you can go back to this video, April 12th, 2017, and say, in that live stream, Kill said that Heath and Sherry were going to be decapitated by the Whisperers. There you go. And then I'll go back and say 1 year ago. I'm just messing with you guys because I get so much flack for this stuff. I don't even know why I'm still talking about it. Moving on. I'm going to sound bitter before long. I'm just being stupid. Let's see. David Carter. He should have put the knife in his eye. No, he wasn't. Daryl wasn't going to put the knife in Dwight's eye. Dwight has a story to tell. I don't know. Kevin Quintana, what is your question? Did your question have a lot of spam or something? Oh, Rebecca, if you say I agree with Lisa Marie, I'm going to have to go all the way back up and see what was Lisa Marie's comment. Now I missed it. I'm going to be searching. Do you think the green string Sasha gave to Enid will ever come back up? Maybe. These things surface from time to time. Maybe it'll be something Enid remembers later on. I'm a little confused with what's going to happen with Enid. Mike Murray, will the military from another country show up in the final episode and kill everyone and lay claim to everything? Wow. I would assume that based on what happened in Fear the Walking Dead, that it's traveled to Mexico, that this type of thing is not just on North America, South America. I think this is worldwide. I do think you might be onto something that at some point we may need to see something else happening in other continents. But I don't know there's going to be military strength of people that are still alive. I think pretty much the whole world is encompassed by this sickness or this outbreak. Moody says she thinks Daryl will kill Dwight. I mean, he said he was going to. If he does, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think you just kill Dwight at this point. Maybe after the war is done, they're out fishing, and he's like, "Hey Dwight, I'm gonna kill you, some bitch." And yeah, probably casual. Maybe like what's that? Was it John Steinbeck? Or was it Bugs Bunny? Remember, where he took him out and he said, I will hug him and squeeze him and call him George, and he says, just look over there, and he shoots him. Maybe that's what'll happen. It'll be like, shoot, what's the book? I'm drawing a blank here of the book. If somebody knows the book, leave it in chat. I just know the Bugs Bunny spinoff. Where he says, hey, just look over there. It's Lenny and George. Shoot, what was it? Lenny and George, and then he shoots him in the back. Somebody will know. Yeah, after All Out War. See, that's what I could see happening. Daryl just pretends like everything is okay, and it's not okay. Was it Ralph? Oh, yeah. Of Mice. There you go, of Mice and Men. I should have known that. Yes, that's it. That's the way that's going to go down. Everybody knows it except me. I was drawing a blank. Well, you guys knew what I was talking about anyway, so at least I painted enough of a picture. So yeah, they're going to keep Dwight alive, and at some point, Daryl takes him out there, and he's probably going to crossbow him in the back of the head, and he says, "Hey, look over at the trees there, and hey, Lenny, check this out." And then bam, Daryl shoots him, and he shoots him right through the back of the head, and ironically enough, the arrow goes through his eye, just like Denise. And then Daryl say something like, because remember Dwight said, "I wasn't aiming for her." Then Daryl say something like, "I was aiming for you, you son of a bitch," like that. There you go. We've just solved it. We solved the Dwight Daryl. So people are going to get on this and expect to hear the spoilers from episode 2. And so if that happens, yeah, look at the flowers. Then if someone on another channel does a video and says, "Will Daryl shoot Dwight in the back of the head?" You guys heard it here. 2017. We were ahead of our time. Let's see. Old Yeller style. Yeah, we're not even going to Old Yeller style. So you think Dwight's going to get bit by a rat? Was it? What happened to Old Yeller? Did he get bit by a raccoon or something? Maybe. So maybe Dwight's going to get bit by a raccoon, and then Daryl's going to put him out of his misery. That could happen as well. This is not for this episode. See, you guys, this is for like a random things or more of a casual. I'm trying to be structured. These videos are supposed to be structured spoilers, to the point, not these wild tangents that you guys like to pull me off in several different directions. Edna Tellis says, do you see the Aaron character developing? I absolutely do. And I know there's some Eric haters here that want Eric to die. I do think something's going to happen to Eric, and that's going to push Aaron's character forward. I don't know what's going to happen yet. But we'll talk about that. That could be an episode for next week, or I'm sorry, Sunday night, maybe episode 3, episode 4. We're going to start to talk about some of the other characters, because in the first 2 weeks, what we've talked about here is what I think is going to be Ezekiel's storyline, what I think is going to be Negan toughening up, Eugene with the pills, Oceanside making a small splash, Dwight defecting. I haven't even talked a whole lot about Rick yet. So there's got to be some Rick stuff that's going to happen along the way too. So maybe by episode 3, we'll get more of Rick's storyline. I don't know. I mean, there's some things that we're going to have to go back and rethink. As I said, this isn't going to be perfect what happens episode 1 and episode 2. I can't imagine going 3 weeks without Rick having some type of major part. So what do you guys think Rick's role is going to be? Kills, who do you think will lead the Saviors during all-out war? Well, Negan, of course. I don't know. New York City Famous says, do you think they're going to meet a new group? Otherwise, I think the Whispers are... You're going to see some Easter eggs of the Whispers. And we'll go back and say it again. What better two people to have their head on stakes and to show you that the Whispers are out there than the people that we're thinking may or may not come back that are on other shows. So I think that's the way it's going to play out. DJ Stack says, if you look at the Oceanside episode where Tara, when she picks up the card, PPP, it means... Yeah, we've heard that. Whether people says it's the Whispers or it means Whispers, but even people high level said that that was something that Scott Gimple kept close to the vest. That he knew what he wanted it to mean, but even the writers that normally leak information to the rest of us, that the writers didn't even know. I mean, pretty reliable sources say they don't know what the PPP means. But, like anything else, I mean, we all have our theories on it, what we think it means, and there are some videos out there that speculate that. But it's hard to tell. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're onto something, and that's what Gimple meant by it. So we are Wow, time does fly. We like to keep these right at an hour, so thank you, Derek Roberts. A couple things. Number one, if you guys have not slapped the like button, please hit the like button. Show your love for 999 Gaming and the 999 Army. If you guys don't know what the 999 Army is, there's a Facebook fan page. Moody does a good job. It's, there's a lot of Walking Dead stuff. There's a lot of pictures of Daryl. A lot of pictures on Daryl. So, yeah, just be prepared for that. But there are other things out there. There's cat pictures. There's videos that are linked up there. I post videos on there as well, so appreciate all of you guys being there. I'm going to take maybe 2 more questions. If you are new to this channel, it's very interactive. The live streams are all about, me and you kind of engaging back and forth. I don't always get to everyone's questions. Sometimes it pisses a few people off, but I do my best to sort of, if something is relevant or I see something jumps out and I want to talk about it, I just change topics and we go from here to there. We do have several other streams that are going on. Random things every Monday night. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. I really think we're going to build that up to something pretty special, so I appreciate you guys joining in on that as well. Also, Chill with Kill Sunday morning, and if you guys want more spoilers, on Sunday night as well. And check all throughout the week, because I may have just a random video I put up there. Could be about what I think Negan is going to do, or some news that's out there, or we do daily video gameplay as well. Walking Dead Road to Survival, Walking Dead No Man's Land, and this new trading card game that I seem to be obsessed with all of a sudden. So, thank you guys. 2 more questions, and then, the other thing, I'll do shout-outs. So I'm going to call out as many people as I possibly can. And that's kind of the credits. You guys don't have to hang out the whole time, but if you want to hear your name, you want to be part of the video at the end, then stick around for the last couple minutes of this, and we will discuss that as well. Oh, and you guys can see on the screen. If you guys want to check out facebook.com 999gamed, or you can follow me personally, facebook.com/KILZHOT, or if you're really bored and you just want to chat during the week, check me out on Kick at KILZHOT, and sometimes I'll respond to that as well too, unless I just get slammed by messages, which does happen from time to time. So, Alan Steiner, do you think Oceanside gets wiped out by the Whispers or another group and blame Rick because they don't have their guns? I do. I think that is an excellent, if it's not the Whispers, it could be Negan. That Negan finds out where they got the guns, goes in, and a couple people perhaps can escape. Cindy being one of those, but I could see all the people in Oceanside being wiped out in a real dramatic scene with little Rachel dying and Tara feeling responsible, not being able to flick her off anymore. So, yeah, could happen that way. And one more question. Tommy, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into the writer's strike. I don't think the writer's strike will affect what's going on this season, because I think everything's already been written. I think that they're ready to go to film with it. Could it affect some other people? But I don't think they're still writing what's going to happen. At this point, they're going to start filming in a month. They're not writing these episodes. I mean, this is already done. The stuff for the season probably got written 6 months ago, 8 months ago, maybe even a year ago. So, one more question, since that was kind of a writer's strike question. When we find out about Negan's tape on the wrist, this is Beniam. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. I will tell you, one of Negan's wrist has a tattoo of a puppy that he bought from a kid that he kept for about 12 months, and the puppy died. So he got a tattoo of the puppy's name. If that's on his right wrist, then it may be covering up that tattoo. If it's on his left wrist, then I don't know. So, thanks everybody. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. All the people in this stream, you guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate everything that you guys do. This channel just completely, it's growing to unprecedented levels. I mean, we have, if you see 100, 150 people in here, that means we've had 400 people that are kind of in and out the door. During peak season, we have 1,500, 2,000 people. So it gets a little harder to acknowledge everybody, but just understand that everybody's in this room right now. You guys make my day. I do this for all of you. So thank you so much. We're going to do some shout-outs. If you guys are new to this, this is where I just yell out a bunch of people's names as fast as possible. I probably will mess up your name. Kevin Katana says, what'll happen to Rosita? I I think we're going to see some more badassery from Rosita. I think she's got an agenda. She's going to feel a little responsible for Sasha, and she's still going to be out there doing her thing, trying to kill. A little bit more humble this time around. A little easier to get along with, especially after Tara has took care of her. Steph Richardson says, Kills is the wizard. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of. We are finishing this up. So, yeah, if it's on his left wrist, Northside Queen, then I don't know why he puts it there. So, thank you, Sharon Jackson, Tyler Johnson, Michelle Yang, Lisa G. Tyler Johnson is like a popsicle on a hot summer day. What's up, Josh Fett? Shanny D, have a good night. Diane Estes, thank you for being here. Storm 3851. Rebecca from Texas, thank you so much. I love the atmosphere, too. I have a great group and great moderators. Weird Walking Dead Theories. Moody Girl, one of the moderators. Maboon. Who else we got? Larma Carter. So, thanks. No relation to Sean Carter. What's up, Tobin McLeod? Lindsay Luke, thank you so much for being here. Jill McGuire. Vonda Martin, thank you. And Brandon Reddix. Kel says, smile. Appreciate you being here. BKH96. Diane Estes. And also, I want to give a special thank you, too. I have several people who sponsor me on Patreon, too. If you guys don't know what that is, you can check it out. It's patreon.com and /999gaming. But it is like a subscription service. So several people in this chat actually sponsor my videos. So at the end of my video, when you see sponsor, that's actually what that means. So the list of people there, it's like a monthly support. So I appreciate you guys doing that as well, too. Thank you so much. A for the win. New York City 718. Famous. Thank you for being here. Merrick as well. Calm Fang. Always a pleasure. ETZ Mom. Raging Happy. Edna Tellis, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night as well, too. Appreciate it. Christian Deleg. Alexandria Bates, my big comic book fan, Alexandria. Clemson fan 96. You get a shout out for being late. You still get a shout out. Israel Marion, thank you for being here. Tommy McCandless, slapping that like button with Lucille. Stacks the Beat Box Breaker, thank you for being here. And who else we got? Gecko Skates. I'm always going to miss somebody. Some people, the stream is on about a 15-second lag. Some people, sometimes they're watching a live stream and they're 20, 30-second lag. And that's why I miss a few people. Melancholy Heart. I don't know why I was thinking Unchained Melody when you said that. I was about to go into like some Righteous Brothers, like, the soundtrack from Ghost. No, I'm not singing tonight. What's up, Emmy Bacon? Thank you for being here. And Big Boss Monster just got here and the stream is over. But it's okay. We appreciate you popping in. So, Beniam, shout out to the pet, the little tiger. Absolutely. Did we get everybody? I think I yelled you out a little early. If not, Sen Miller, thank you for being here. All right, looks like we are good to go. Once again, check out some of the other videos. Appreciate you guys being here. Human Stingray is late. It's okay. Thanks once again. All right, everybody. Talk to y'all soon. Don't bring me down, down, down. Hello? How are you? The stream is over. That is the last. I gave you a little bit more ELO, but I'm giving no more ELO. Evil woman. And